working a lot lately. Um, anyways, I have my arm up like this because I really do look fabulous today, but you can't tell. At least I tried to be a little bit more fabulous than I've been the last few days. I've been walking around in my moo. But thank you for joining me. I just wanted to just jump on, let you guys know, even though I will not have my book ready for my birthday, which is devastating to me. I still plan, well, I've still been continuing to work on it. And when I tell you it is absolutely amazing. And it's not because I've written it, it's because the Holy Spirit has just been guiding me. And I've really gained a lot of insight that's carrying me through this season. This is one of the hardest seasons of my life. I was actually thinking about that this morning as I was getting dressed. And I've had to overcome a lot in life. So for me to say this is one of my hardest seasons, I was just like, girl, like, how can it be your hardest and you've lost a sibling, you've lost a daughter, you've lost a dad? Like, what is it about this season of your life that's so hard? And I'll tell you what it is. Um, it's not just what I'm going through in this season, which but it is playing a large, large part in it because it's consuming so much of my time. Um, it's because I expected my life to be a little different. I've been reimagining my life, I've been putting in all the work, I've been doing what's necessary. And then just to get to a point where it's almost like it's halted and everything just stops. It's hard to explain. It's hard to explain. And so I'm still trying to reimagine my life. My husband claims he never wants to be on the live and then some kind of way happens to get in the camera anyways. So I'm on a live, sweetie. And so are you. Okay. I didn't put you on there. You just put yourself on there. I didn't do that. You did. You smell nice, sweetie. I do like it. Anyways, I was just jumping on and just wanted to share. I'm trying to think. I should have. I rarely do I can't even say the word, a script. I rarely do one. Um, but I'm gonna have to do some because the insight I've been receiving from this book, like I said, I've just gotten so much revelation recently about myself, about my identity. One of the spin-offs of this book is going to be just about self. And I've just been learning so much about me in this season, trying to understand why I do what I do, why I make the decisions that I'm making. So many times we do things and we're in situations and we're thinking to ourselves like, how did I even get here? And so that's the type of question I've been asking. I've been doing my research. And I know it sounds crazy. I will be 50 this week. And it's like, how do you not know yourself at 50? But so many times we're just going through life. We're not really experiencing life. We're just kind of existing. And so sometimes we can miss things. We can miss the red flags, we can miss the warnings, we can just miss things. And or we can just kind of things are present and we don't see them until later. But anyways, like I said, I'm trying to be intentional about my life in this season, and I encourage you to do the same thing. It's interesting when you slow down, you pause, and you just take a moment. How you can regain some clarity and start to see things in a different light. And so that's what I'm encouraging you guys to do. That's what the whole book is about. I have no clue literally no clue when I'm gonna be able to finish this book. But one thing I will tell you, I will finish it before 2026. I will. If I have to glue myself to the seat, which honestly, that's not even the issue. I know sometimes people get writer's block. That is not my issue. That is not my issue. As a matter of fact, I already have other book sequels and not singular but plural books coming out because I've just gotten so much insight and I can't wait to share it with you guys. Um I really can't wait to share it with the world because there's so many people like myself who feel like they're stuck, who are struggling and they don't really know how they got there first of all. They don't know how to get out of it and they're trying to figure it out. And I'll be honest, and I've always said this, my life is far from perfect. I do not have it figured out. As a matter of fact, that's the reason I'm writing the books. And that's the reason I've been seeking a higher power, my God, and trying to figure out how gotten in a situation that I'm in, or some of the situations that I'm in. And I'll tell you guys, um, the Bible really is a good reference. A lot of times I try not to be spiritual, um, just because I know so many people have been church hurt. But to be honest with myself, and that's what I think if I had to have a message today, that's what it would be. And that's what I was actually kind of talking to myself about this morning. And I know there's some people who probably say, talk to yourself. Is she crazy? And I always say this, if you're not talking to yourself, you probably are crazy. I know society tells us not to talk to ourselves, but how do you know how you personally feel if you're not having a conversation with yourself? If you're not, how do you know, um, how you feel about a situation or what type of decision to make? So, yes, I strongly, and I don't give recommendations generally because I'm not a doctor, not a therapist, but I strongly encourage people to talk to yourself. If you don't want to talk to yourself out loud, talk to yourself in your head, write it down, do whatever it is it takes to make sure that you are in alignment with you. Because what happens a lot of time, and this is the key, if you don't know how you feel about something, then you're probably going to end up in misalignment. You're probably going to be, because what you believe and what you do might not even match up. And a lot of times that's what's happening. A lot of times people are trying to figure out, why am I so, and I'm trying to be careful because again, I'm not a therapist. I'll speak for myself. When I was going through depression, I went through depression for many, many years. A lot of people didn't even know I was depressed. But when I was going through depression, when I'm looking in this season, I realized that the reason I was depressed is because I didn't even align up with my own values. I wasn't doing what even I thought was acceptable. And so sometimes we have to look at and we have to be honest with ourselves. And so that's what I've been working on right now in the last few days is just truth. As a matter of fact, one of my questions when I was going through depression, I was like, God, how did I get here? And it was like the Holy Spirit told me, he said, the truth will set you free. And so I have stood on that. And since that time, I've been able to I don't know what the word is. I've been able to overcome and I've been able to accomplish more in my life in the short time that I've been able to start acknowledging my truth. Because so many times we do what other people say is acceptable, we do what society says is acceptable, and we don't necessarily think about or focus on what we believe or what we want for our life. So I'm gonna get ready to get off because my husband's trying to figure out what he's eating, and I know he's waiting on me to have that conversation. But I just wanted to jump on and just let you guys know I'm jumping on partially to encourage myself. And I want to encourage you guys also to encourage yourselves because I set a goal at the beginning of the year and it was to have my book completed by my birthday. I turned 50 April 24th. Happy birthday, early birthday to me. I am sad because like I said, I won't have my book finished. But I have some circumstances, something that's consuming a lot of my time and I can't allow it, I can't let it go. So I need to continue to pursue it. And so I will have my book signed before 2026. I just don't know when. And I am still going to try to work on my book as much as possible, but I have to just make sure I handle business first. Okay, thank you guys for joining me. And as always, pause, exhale, and reimagine life. Thank you.